And in Collier County, fire crews were on the scene of multiple mulch fires earlier today. The North Collier Fire Rescue District sharing these photos on Facebook. They say it was on Jones Road and wasn't an easy one to battle because of the high winds brought on by passing storms throughout the area. The fire was very difficult to contain. Smoky conditions were seen nearby while firefighters battled the blazes. And President Trump fires back at critics over the Syrian missile attack as the U.S. ambassador to the UN says the United States is not yet ready to pull our troops out of the war-torn country. Fox News correspondent Mike Tobin has the latest from Jerusalem.
President Trump Sunday defended his use of the term mission accomplished to describe Friday night's missile strike in Syria. Trump tweeting, quote, "The Syrian raid was so perfectly carried out with such precision that the only way the fake news media could demean was by my use of the term mission accomplished." UN Ambassador Nikki Haley defending the president.
And as a military spouse, I know that mission accomplished means you have one task currently in front of you, and when it's completed, it is mission accomplished. Politically, mission accomplished means something broader.
Haley also sounding off on the ongoing efforts to broker peace in the war-ravaged nation and reports of U.S. troops leaving Syria.
We, of course, know that our work in Syria is not done. We know that it is now up to Bashar al-Assad on whether he's going to use chemical weapons again. And should he use it again, the president has made it very clear that the United States is locked and loaded and ready to go.
Over the weekend, more than 100 missiles were fired by the U.S., France, and Great Britain, targeting 3 chemical weapons facilities. The bombings in retaliation to an apparent chemical weapons attack a week ago.
Saying that it's been a success, we won't know until we see whether the regime continues to use chemical weapons.
And the U.S. is getting set to target Russia on Monday over its alleged involvement in Syria's use of chemical weapons. The Treasury Department will announce that on Monday, fresh sanctions against the country. We're now seeing before and after satellite images of 3 facilities in Syria hit by the U.S. military and its allies last night and early this morning. The Maxar News Bureau has released these images. As you can see on your screen, you can see clouds of smoke bulging above the devastation and some gray craters. The military action came after a suspected chemical attack on Syrian civilians, including children. Last weekend, at least 40 people were reportedly killed. Pope Benedict XVI is marking his 91st birthday. The pontiff reportedly had no special plans for his big day. He's living a quiet existence in the small monastery in the Venetian Gardens. The retired pope has been living in the Venetian Gardens for the past 5 years since he resigned on February 28, 2013. The first pope to resign in more than 600 years. At the time, he explained he was too frail to keep up the demands of the job. And North Korea pays tribute to the leader, Kim Il-sung, Sunday. The day marks the leader's 106th birthday. North Koreans honor him as the founder of their nation. People brought flowers to his statues at Manitou Hill and since the country holds an anniversary parades every 5 years. There's no big event planned to mark the date. Do you know why the caged bird sings? Over 100 exotic birds released in Florida where they were confiscated from and their beautiful release. And lacing up for a morning run, the 7-mile bridge run in the Florida Keys is wildly popular. We show you who ran the fastest time and how fast the event fills up. But first, Barbara Bush's family making a difficult announcement today. What decisions she has made in regards to her health and what's next for her and the family. It's coming up on Fox 4 News at 10.
Take a look at Storm Smart Skycam from Fort Myers Beach. If you made it out there this morning, conditions looking a-okay this afternoon, though. Not so much the storms rolling on through, but on the backside of that cold front, much nicer weather in store. All the details, that's straight ahead.
Live from the station that's in your corner. News with Lisa Greenberg and weather with meteorologist Tony Sadiku. This is Fox 4 News at 10.
All right, starting things out with weather and closing out the weekend with a bang. Saturday, for the most part, dry across southwest Florida, and for the most part, even today was dry, but late in the day, we did see a strong cold front move on through. That packed a punch, especially as it rolled out through southwest Florida. We did not see significant severe weather, but certainly some stronger thunderstorms with reports and severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings north of I-4, but really we saw the storms weakening as they moved to the south, and that certainly meant good news for folks out there. The storms moved through in a hurry, and right now the batch of rain that we were tracking all afternoon long is now basically just to the east of, say, Hobe Sound, West Palm Beach, as we're seeing drier air begin to move on through. So really the rest of tonight not seeing any significant issues. A couple of straggler showers rolling out through southern sections of Collier County, maybe out towards Marco Allen, seeing a little bit of drizzle, Everglades City, but that's about all I'm seeing here for tonight. Is the rest of tonight's looking drier. Water vapor shows all of that moisture ahead of the front. It's going to pack its bags. It'll be gone tomorrow as drier air behind it begins to move on through. So rain chances significantly lower heading into tonight, tomorrow, and really over the next 5 to 7 days. Not seeing a significant rain chance. As we go through the rest of tonight, skies will gradually clear. And yeah, the sun will be back tomorrow. It's going to be a really nice day. The winds picking up out of that west and northwest direction will continue to help move in that drier air and also some cooler air for a change heading into the middle part of April. The winds, I think, will really be the significant part of the forecast for tomorrow, with winds still gusting anywhere from 20 to 25 miles per hour, will be sustained anywhere from 10 to 20. So again, tomorrow, the winds, and on Tuesday, I think, will be the big story. Temperature-wise, we're starting to notice a drop up across places like Jacksonville and Tallahassee. Numbers are dropping quickly into the 50s. We'll be next. Yeah, 50s are in the forecast. I don't think, though, until tomorrow night, but that's kind of what we got to look forward to. A couple of mornings that'll be a little cooler than the last couple mornings. So dew points are also dropping. That's that drier air moving on through. Right now in the 60s, which is still on the muggy side. We saw dew points this morning in the 70s, so a notable difference there. By tomorrow and Tuesday, dew points are really going to take a tumble, so much so that they'll be in the 50s. So pleasant day in store here for your Monday and really for the first half of the week. 64 tonight under mostly cloudy skies. Clouds will clear on Monday. It was sunshine. Highs in the mid-70s, sunny and 76 with breezy conditions out there. Ingman Marine boating forecast will still feature a small craft advisory with the breezy winds I was talking about earlier, northwesterly winds anywhere from 10 to 20 with seas 4 to 6 feet. Your 7-day forecast shaping up pretty nice. 76 tomorrow. Notice the cool air doesn't really stick around much. Back up to 80 on Tuesday, mid-80s before you know it. By the weekend, could be pushing 90 in spots. Jasmine.
Thanks, Tony. The nation could be saying their final goodbyes to a former First Lady. According to reports, Barbara Bush is in failing health. Former President George H.W. Bush's office released a statement saying, after, quote, a recent series of hospitalizations, the former First Lady is no longer seeking further medical treatment, is instead choosing to continue care at her home in Houston. She was First Lady from 1989 to 1993, and during her time as First Lady, her main focus was on family literacy, a cause she championed long after she left the White House. So, Karis, I know we're only getting to just a little bit of information at a time, but how long has Mrs. Bush been sick?
Well, Jasmine, she's actually been in and out of the hospital for some time now. She had a surgery in 2008, another one in 2009, and most recently she was actually in the hospital on New Year's Eve, and that was after she had to be hospitalized fighting a case of pneumonia. And this is the most recent illness, and I've actually learned that she has been really a rock for her family during this entire time. Even the former president's office saying that even though she's the one dealing with the illness, she's kind of helping keep the family together, but she is unfortunately choosing to not continue on with any further medical care.
Really incredible. The First Lady suffers from congestive heart failure and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease and has been in and out of the hospital frequently in recent years, including a bout of pneumonia on New Year's Eve. And she had surgery, back surgery in 2008 and 2009. This has certainly been hard for the Bush family. And according to reports, Mrs. Bush has really been a rock so far throughout the entire
About
family.
Barbara Bush, I mean, she was a credit to this nation. She supported her husband in every manner that she could possibly do, and she'll be a great loss like so many other women who served our country before her. My heart goes out to them and to the total Bush family.
Mrs. Bush is the only living First Lady to be wife of one president and mother of another. Her husband, of course, being former President George H.W. Bush, and her son being former President George W. Bush. Getting their run on. Hundreds of people laced up their running shoes in the Florida Keys Saturday morning. More than 1,500 people ran the 7-mile bridge run, starting in Marathon. The official winner, drumroll please, a 17-year-old Marathon high school student who finished in, guess what, 40 minutes and 1 second. Certainly a lot faster than I can go. The race started back in 1982 to commemorate the construction of 37 new bridges in the area. Online registration opened in February and filled up within minutes. More than 130 illegally trapped birds are released back into the Everglades. Many of the birds were bought or seized as part of the multi-agency operation called Operation Ornery Birds and were released into Florida's River of Grass. The birds are from varying species protected by the Migratory Bird Treaty Act and the Endangered Species Act. 5 people were arrested during the undercover operation. Starbucks says sorry. What story about 2 customers is going viral, leading to boycotts of the company and how the CEO responded this weekend. But first, after losing everything, including their family pets to wildfires, some hope restored. Why this woman gave a family a puppy, and what a clever name their new furry friend got. But before we head to break, here's a look at tonight's winning lottery numbers. You're watching Fox 4 News at 10. A puppy capturing hearts. Just look at that. One California family lost everything in the state's wildfires. Now they're welcoming a new member to their family. Cheryl Robertson sat next to the family during a benefit concert last November and learned they had lost everything in the Bay Area wildfires. When she heard about a little group of silver Labradors that you can see, look at that, she made sure that this family was going to get one. Oakland firefighters got word of the special adoption and helped to pitch in as well.
I was talking to them and found out they lost their home and all their belongings and 3 family pets, and just felt really strongly about giving them a puppy as soon as I could. It's been really fun and positive and exciting to hear some excitement for them after the pain I saw that night with them. It's really nice to see that they're just anticipating this and excited.
His new name is Ash. The family also has adopted another dog and say the new additions are already making themselves feel right at home. Or tornado touching down, tearing through dorms at an Arkansas college. The students share what they saw and heard when the storm hit, and the university responds to the incident. But first, a toddler killed by falling from a tree. The terrifying nighttime storm that did this damage to her family's home. It's all next on Fox 4 News at 10.
Live from the station that's in your corner, you're watching Fox 4 News at 10.
The 6th homicide in a week, all coming out of Lehigh Acres. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is investigating another homicide right here on Acacia Avenue in Lehigh Acres. And neighbors are saying the family living in the house where it happened has had various problems in the past. But the most important thing right now to neighbors is keeping their children safe. Keeping kids close and locking the doors.
I stayed outside, but I made all the kids stay in the house.
Says this neighbor who wanted to remain anonymous. She just wants her 11-year-old daughter protected, especially since they live 1 block over from the homicide investigation on Acacia Avenue, where she says the suspect was on the run.
Cops all over the place. That's when they got the guy in the woods. The dog got the guy in the woods.
Neighbors living 2 houses away from where it happened, who also wanted to protect their identity, say this incident was no surprise. and that they've been telling their 7-year-old son to avoid walking too close to a household whose conflicts can be overheard on the streets.
Sometimes you'll hear just stuff off in the distance, people arguing. You know, you don't make out words, but you can, you can tell that they're arguing.
Neighbors who know the family say it was an argument turned violent stabbing incident, leading to a homicide.
This started out as domestic violence, so this has nothing to do with my community around it. It's specifically within their families.
I think it was just an incident. I don't really feel the danger out here.
Even reminding some to keep their family ties positive.
It just helps and shows like communication between me and my husband or me and my family, so nothing ever leads up to that.
The Lee County Sheriff's Office has not confirmed the homicide was a stabbing. They do say they believe this is an isolated incident and is no risk to the public. It's an ongoing investigation. And taking a look at this weather. We had some rain earlier, but it looks like it's cooled down. It's moving away from us. Thank God, because you guys know I really don't like rain. And Tony knows it best. What is going on in this state that is supposed to be sunshine, Tony?
Yeah, kind of getting a little break from the sun today. We did see some sunshine earlier on, and I know Sunday a lot of kids want to head out and maybe play outside. I think for an hour or two is, the kind of time to be inside, maybe playing with the Game Boy or the cards or whatever it was, taking a break from the outside conditions. But drier air will move on through, and I'm telling you, it's going to be worth it. Tomorrow you're going to love it because drier air, not only drier air, but also lower humidity. I mean, the past couple of days we've seen incredibly muggy conditions, but all of that's going to be gone as this cold front continues to push on through. We're starting to see the effects of it now with much clearer conditions on our radar, and behind it, with winds shifting more out of the north and northwest, we're going to see that dry air continue to push on through. So basically what we've got going on over the next couple of hours is those temperatures continuing to come on down. In fact, we're seeing it in terms of the temperatures now. Right now it's 70 at Page Field. Notice the winds though, 15 miles per hour. We'll hang on to those conditions here for tonight. I'll have all the details coming up. Jess?
Thanks, Tony. Well, those storms have been taking a major hit throughout the country, and at least it's not Southwest Florida, causing major damage. And for one family, unthinkable devastation. Reporting Christian Picos has the story of the little girl who lost her life to a falling tree limb.
Carefully, El Benoit removes the final stump from the inside of Carly Ortiz's now split RV.
Because I'm probably going to have to hire a record company.
For Benoit, this tragedy is personal.
They're really family oriented. His family, his kids and his wife came first. It's really heartbreaking.
Benoit has known Carly since she was born.
She was a sweetheart. I mean, she was loving. I mean, she loved people.
When Benoit saw Carly's home cut in two, he knew in his gut what had happened.
Whenever I seen him out and I seen the wife out and I seen the infant, first thing I asked, where's the 2-year-old? And they said she's trapped inside.
It sounded like they were in a ship and it was sinking, it was terrified screams. Just knowing that there was a baby right there a few hours ago.
Robin Llewellyn lives right next door to Carly's RV.
That just broke my heart.
She recounts the horrifying moments right after the tree crushed Carly's home.
When we heard him screaming, we knew that it was a kid. We knew it was the baby. And he was screaming and yelling, and my husband couldn't get to them. We couldn't get inside because it was just blocked.
As Carly's family and friends remove her final belongings, this devastating moment serving as a reminder of the sanctity of life.
Reports say the tree effectively ripped the RV in half. The other people sleeping inside at the time were thankfully uninjured. Talk about being at the wrong place at the wrong time. A college student says she was in a car, as you can see, when she ran into a tornado that hit Mountainburg, Arkansas. She says the video was recorded while she was on the way to Texas with her boyfriend. The couple drove through Mountainburg, and that's when the storm picked up. They passed through the storm in less than a minute. And the National Weather Service confirmed a tornado did touch down near the city. Cleanup is underway after storms roll through Mountainburg, Arkansas. Most of the damage from the tornado yesterday, as you saw, settling near I-71. The police chief of Mountainburg says he was surprised by the extent of the damage he has seen today, and the cleanup process has been ongoing for hours. Fox's Kelly O'Neill has a story.
We were blessed that our home wasn't hit, so we wanted to help everybody else out by giving them a hot meal for lunch today.
A city coming together in a time of need.
We're going to come in the morning and do biscuits and gravy and coffee for all the people who've worked all night or, try to take care of them.
According to homeowners, that's just the Mountainburg way.
We've collected donations and we're receiving items here, hoping that when families get ready to realize what they need, they can come and get what they need.
Pigeon Creek Free Will Baptist Church has been collecting non-perishable food items, tools, trash bags, and clothes.
The main thing we need right now is to get word out to families that might be impacted by the storm to know that they can come get what they need here.
And when the community steps up, it makes the lives of the men and women in blue easier.
We see a lot of different feelings with the people. Yesterday was a lot of devastation, concern, worry about family members, about pets, about their homes. Today things feel a lot better. People are coming together from all over the community to help out their neighbors.
Pigeon Creek Free Will Baptist Church is still accepting donations and will be open tomorrow for people to pick up what they need. Cleanup also underway at a college campus in Arkansas. A tornado working through the University of Central Arkansas, ripping off the roof of a dorm, forcing students to leave the building, and heavy rains also damaging rooms and hallways. More than 100 students have been displaced by the severe storm damage.
My roommate was like, "Zoe, you need to come in here right now. Your stuff's all over the floor and there's water pouring in our room. Everything on my floor is wet. Like I had a lot of clothes that were wet. My shoes were wet."
First we was in the stairway, then we went down to the hallway, and then we saw water flooding out. So they told us to go over there to the students in the basement.
Could have been worse, like the building could have got tore down or so, but we're able to be alive today, so thank God.
Thank God is right that those students are okay. The university says about 30 students were immediately displaced. Those students either stayed with friends and family or were given an alternative space on campus. It may be weeks before students can return to the dorm. And severe weather continues and caused major flooding in parts of Hawaii Saturday. Ashley Nagoga has reaction from residents of the Aloha State.
This is the inside of Shauna Tui's home on Papai Street. This line right here shows just how high the water got in her hallway. Now, Shauna says at around 9 p.m. last night, she was in her living room with her mother watching TV when she noticed brown water gushing through the wall.
The water came through my mom's bedroom and then just kind of jetted through the house, came down the hallway. There was just a raging river through the house, and my brother put my mom over his shoulder and carried her out of the house.
Neighbors next door say the heavy rains caused the nearby Wailupe stream to flood, sending waves of brown water crashing into their backyards and homes.
The stream was overflowing. They could hear it coming up to the door, and then it just started to inundate the house. For a split second, I said, "Oh no, we're in danger, right? We got to get out of here."
We've got an 8-foot retaining wall, and so it came right up over that in just a few minutes.
All that water and rain rushed down to Kalani'anaole Highway, creating rapids on the roadway. This dramatic video captured by viewer Andrew Pangan shows vehicles stuck in all the flooding near Kuli'o'o. The grounds and building at the Calvary by the Sea Lutheran Church were still underwater today as members began cleanup efforts.
This place is a mess.
And at the Hawaii Kai retirement community, resident Arthur Cam says even though many of his belongings are destroyed, he says for him, the timing could have been much worse. He was supposed to bring his wife home from the hospital today to begin at-home hospice care.
Can you imagine her on the bed and all this thing going on? Water was in the front door. When I opened it up, the water flowed out and wet the whole place.
Residents say they were surprised by the severity and strength of the storm. While the recovery and cleanup efforts will take some time, they say they are very fortunate no one was seriously hurt.
It's just all material stuff. We'll get through it, clean it all up.
I didn't even know where to start. It's just, it's pretty devastating.
Severe damage was also reported to the crops in the area, with flooding in fields and irrigation and fencing all damaged. Baby red squirrels hidden away in an unusual place, where they were found and what wildlife workers plan to do with them when they recover. And if the price seems too good, it's probably true. How much counterfeit makeup police confiscated and what disgusting supplement was found in some of the products. But first, church conversion, repurposing real estate from historic to home. We'll show you how it's done next on Fox 4 News at 10. Tony?
Take a look. A cold front shaking up our weather pattern here across Southwest Florida. Some of you loving it, some of you not. You see the storms rolling on through Cape Harbor on our Storm Smart Sky Cam. But I think you'll like what's on the backside. Some cooler temperatures, lower humidity. All that's in your forecast. How about the details coming up?
Agent.
Okay, Tony, this morning it was humid.
It was very humid.
And then it poured down rain.
It did.
What am I supposed to do with my hair? I mean, do I put it up? Do I keep it down? I mean, I don't.
Hey,
what am I supposed to? How am I supposed to handle
when it comes to women hair? I mean, look at me. I definitely don't have anything to worry about in that department.
But can you help me out with the weather, please?
But I do think you're going to like the next couple of days because the humidity is going to come on down, and that'll be courtesy of the front. So we want the front, but what happens ahead of the front is those southerly winds pump in moisture. That's kind of unfortunately what we had to deal with. So the storms came in through. They came with a punch here across not only Southwest Florida, but all across the state, dealing with the rain. The good news is for us, we were concerned about severe weather, and really what we saw were storms, strong storms, but really coming short of severe criteria. So we did see some strong gusty winds with some of those cells in the neighborhood of 40 to 50, even 60-mile-an-hour gusts. But really not a ton reaching severe weather. So we didn't see any real severe thunderstorm warnings or anything like that. Just a tornado watch for some of our northern communities. And the rain certainly came in heavy, but really for a period of time. Most folks, no longer than an hour, the showers are here and gone. So about a half of an inch or so is what we'll collect at the bottom of this. So it'll help the drought conditions some, but unfortunately the forecast over the next 7 days will not, because we'll go back to our kind of typical dry springtime weather here in April. Water vapor shows all that moisture. It's going to continue pushing out of the state as drier air punches on in, and cooler air will follow as well. So the big headlines, cooler temps move in tomorrow. Before we get too excited, it's not going to last all that long, but humidity will come on down, so that's going to help the hair situation, I promise. Breezy conditions are also back. There is a look at that trough digging through, so that's going to allow some of the cool air to spill on down for a bit, but the winds will quickly change direction by the middle of the week, so it's going to get warm in a hurry. So 70 degrees right now in Fort Myers, checking into 69. That's improvement. Yesterday, we didn't even fall below 70. 73 currently in Naples. I think everybody tonight gets down into the mid-60s. And then tomorrow, mid-50s. For tomorrow afternoon, everybody's out of the 80s. In fact, only into the mid-70s. That'll feel nice with sunshine as well. So clouds clear tomorrow. Winds still picking up out of the west and northwest. That'll keep that dry and cooler, more comfortable air coming. It will be breezy, though, with those winds anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour. So small craft advisory remains in effect. Your 7-day forecast shapes up like this. Really, my favorite day over the next 7 is tomorrow. Things warm up in a hurry. Tuesday